The Job Guys. What the world isn't watching.
What's happening, everybody? The Job Guys back with you one more time. Nitro Nick coming to you from Orlando. Ryan is here as well. And we are talking about, for the first time in like 27 years, we are talking about Bad Blood. The pay-per-view is back to the day, Nick, 1997, that Bad Blood started with the first ever Hell in the Cell, Undertaker taking on HBK. We had another one here. Nick, I was surprised. Really, the whole buildup, not even just yesterday, they really made this seem like it was one of the big four or something. Mania, SummerSlam, just the way they were hyping it, the talk around it. They had that video with Triple H and Cody and Metro booming, and they sung the national anthem or whatever before the thing. What did you think about? They had a press conference afterward. What did you think about the build up to this? They had some big matches, and man, they made it seem like this was a big deal.
I think you're just going to see more of this in Triple H's era. I think he does believe in marketing from beginning to finish on this thing. I mean, he's still selling the product and pushing it in the press conferences, man, telling you how much was done.
The number one ever again.
Yeah, number one ever. I mean, it seems, I don't want to say standard because I don't think it's on everyone, but he seems to be making a lot of appearances at the pay-per-views to come out and address us a little bit.
Which we'll get to, yep.
I wasn't shocked, to be honest with you, Ryan, because I think this is what we're going to see. And we've know a lot more, production involved in interviews, in putting on the pay-per-view. And you even see people arriving every freaking show now.
All the rappers were there at this one.
I do believe, and I'm not against this. I'm not saying I love everything, but I think he sees it more as an weekly episodic program that you're marketing to people, and these big PLEs, you got to kind of make, because what's really different from what I'm getting on Raw? What's different from what, and I appreciate the fact that he's trying to make them at least appear to be bigger, because we get a lot of marquee matches. I think we got Sammy and Gunther coming up tomorrow night.
On Raw, yep.
So for a world title, so we're getting some marquee matches. What sets me apart, I guess if you're looking from the PLE versus Raw SmackDown, maybe this production's going to be more and more like this, but I do see it dripping over into SmackDown and Raw too.
Yeah, it was big. I mean, it seemed like they were at Madison Square Garden. I mean, the way they treated this, I didn't know when, whatever it's called now, the Phillips Arena became that, but apparently it is. It's the MSG of the South. They kick it right off, right out of the gate. Hell in a Cell, CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Hopefully this is the finish of this feud. It's been going. It's been a great feud of the year, I think, probably in WWE at the very least. I think this was finally the blow off. Lots of violence in this one, as you expect in a Hell in a Cell match. Pretty good. They had the toolbox in the tools got broken out right away, so they're hitting each other with wrenches and everything. The box itself, Drew bleeding, a la HBK, big time.
16 staples, I heard.
Yeah, and the top of his head. Took a live round there with that one, man. He had his
They
head
both
stapled
took some
up.
bad bumps in that match. Some real ones that looked like they could do some damage.
Lots of good moves, man. The feud called for it. It did call for all of us. And then friendship bracelet beads get dropped on Punk instead of thumbtacks, which everybody thought it'd be thumbtacks.
Right.
And then in the end, though, Punk wins. I figured he was going to win. And he now wins the feud, I guess, 2-1 or whatever. And maybe he's going to move on to bigger and better things. Nick, your thought on the match, man? I thought it was pretty good.
It's definitely the best of their three. I don't think anybody would be arguing that about which ones are, the best. It's always hard for me, though, Ryan, because, and I'm taking nothing away, it was a good match, but we've seen so many Hell in the Cell matches.
Right.
There's only so much more you can do in these matches, but it was
hit people with a wrench, I guess.
Right. I got, it was okay. I mean, it's hard because you're looking at a wrench like, God, if he really clocks them with that, they'd die. But,
right.
but
no. Hogan hit The Rock with a hammer and then ran him over.
Right,
with
then
an
ran him
ambulance.
over.
No, everything's fine.
But yeah, I thought, I did like the finish with Punk wrapping the chain around his leg. I
Yeah,
thought
that
that
was
was
cool.
cool for a go to sleep. I appreciate in his as over on the beads as I am. I'm glad it wasn't tax, Ryan. I'm so sick of
Yeah,
tax. Like I was like, man, are we doing this again? Who's going to get
right.
there? And it was symbolic. And you're seeing a little, Triple H story writing, bringing stuff back in. Drew took a bad bump on those stairs at the end. I thought that was glad to hear. I think he's okay, other than the 16
Yeah.
stitches,
And he
staples, if
put
you
the
will.
picture out. So,
Yeah.
he's okay.
Let's hope it's the end of the feud. As much as I probably will vote for this as feud of the year. Um, I feel like it was a roller coaster, though, Ryan. I feel like there were some really high moments,
Mhm.
and then there were some times like, oh my God, he's screwing him again. Like, are you
Oh, yeah.
kidding? Like it was kind of like an up and down. I mean, the high moments were great.
Yep.
I don't think the low moments were low, but it was just like, oh man,
Yeah.
don't do that
Yeah.
again.
A little too much of the same thing. And a lot of that maybe had to do with Punk being hurt. So they had to
Yeah.
buy time. I'm not quite sure. I'm
There
with you, though. I'm ready for it to be over.
Me too.
I'm ready for it to be done. Any other thoughts on the match at all? Again, I thought it was one of the better
match.
Hell in the Cells that I've seen lately.
And it brought the feelings, I guess. Like I think you asked for in the strap match, and you asked for at SummerSlam. Like, when are these guys going to kill each other?
Yes.
This is supposed to be, they can't. Yeah, they can't be kept apart. And I think they delivered that in this match. So, I think it's a good way to set it off. And I'm really curious to where Drew will go from here. Because as someone, I was more pulling for McIntyre to win, but yeah, let's see where they go.
I'm interested with Punk now too, as we will get to in 1 second. Women's championship match. It's Nia, the champ, taking on Bayley in a rematch. Not too much to this match, in my opinion. Tiffany came out, which you knew she would do. Looked like she cashed in her thing. She starts whacking people with the briefcase, and then Nia gets up and sees what happened. What are you doing, man? Are you trying to cash in on me? You're my friend, whatever. Bayley nearly wins with the roll up, and then there's a distraction by Stratton. Jax does the Samoan drop or whatever it is, her finish, and that's it. Nia Jax still a champ. Anything.
Yeah, I'm happy Nia is still the champ. You know me, I like Nia Jax. I wish she would get more matches. I think she needs to murder more people. It just is still taking time because she kind of was big showy in the fact of like the big show. She lost to a lot of people she shouldn't have in her history, if you will, in my opinion. A lot of people have been. I'd like to see her just murder a few more people on SmackDown. I don't care if they're C and D people,
Right.
but other than that, yeah, I'm glad Nia's still on there. You got some sort of storyline with Tiffany.
Yep.
You assume at some point that case is going to come between them. I assume Tiffany will be successful.
Well, it happens like every week. Something is going down.
They got to do something. Two. I don't know what they're doing with Bayley. They're in kind of limbo now because now she's lost the belt, lost a couple rematches.
I said the same thing the second the match ended with the fellas I was watching with. I said the same thing I said at SummerSlam. I'm like, she needs a complete repackage, man.
Yeah.
Complete repackage. Like, there's no heat. There's no cheering. There's really nothing going on.
I do feel that she is better as a heel. I don't know how but yeah, you're right. I it might benefit from, I hate to say, because she's, had time off, but yeah, little time off, little something, little twist on this. Maybe a tag team for a little bit or so. I don't know, Ryan. I don't have the answer.
No, yeah, I don't either. But yeah, we're getting Tiffany and Nia. That story continues. Yeah. All right, then Damian Priest, Finn Balor. They've been building this, my gosh, for a couple of years, breaking up of the Judgment Day. They finally broke up. Well, now these two are finally fighting because they haven't fought yet. Here we go. Not a ton to this match either. Carlito and JD do come out. Yeah, Finn hits his move twice, which I will continue to say is the worst finishing move on earth. The match before this, we had Nia Jax, who weighs more than Finn Balor, sit on someone, and that's the finish.
You!
This guy, who's weighs as much as Darby Allin, his finisher is jumping on someone from the top. Like, we just saw a big girl sit on somebody. That's good. And he kicks out of both of them, and then Priest shakes him off. He delivers his finish. He wins. Priest is your winner. Maybe
I don't know what they're doing.
Nothing match here. Kind of nothing.
It was.
Really.
I actually thought Finn was going to win this just to get Finn a push with the help of the Judgment Day. Then you go back. Damian Priest runs the gauntlet, goes through all of them, gets back up, gets a fair match with Balor, beats Balor. Would have been the way I went. He took on the whole Judgment Day and beat their leader. Like, what? Yeah. I don't want to see this on Monday. It better not be on. Like, I mean, that's what, like, you get what I'm saying though? Like, to me, Balor should have won this with help from Judgment Day. And then you eliminate Judgment Day as he goes back toward Balor. Why do I want to watch it anymore? Like, he's just destroyed all of them. Yeah,
and they kind of did exactly that in the next match with Liv. So Liv, Judgment Day didn't get completely killed. Liv won. But yeah, I mean, where do these guys go?
Well, Ryan, I read that was a botched finish in the next match.
Oh, yeah.
I heard, there's a thing. I'd hopefully check it, but I think, it was read Liv is supposed to pin Rhea with the help of the interfering Rodriguez. Right. But the ref saw it, and I guess the ref there's
like
no
she
way
didn't see it.
Yeah, like I can't not,
Yeah. Well, what's her name? Style girl in AEW. Nope, didn't see it. Didn't happen.
I'm to be honest with you, Ryan. These were two matches. I just don't care about the Judgment Day anymore, man. I mean, I'll give them this. They got hotter and bigger and better than I would have ever imagined. Right, like when they first started. I thought we were looking at Job Squad for sure,
Well, we kind of are.
And they did still. And now, you got a few out. I guess, Priest is the only, you got Priest and what do you call it? Ripley. But the rest of them, Carlito is pretty much a jobber. JD McDonough, pretty much a jobber. Finn Balor, he does not win big matches. I mean, was it last summer or summer before he was going after Rollins, and Rollins took him out pretty good. He just doesn't win big matches anymore.
And then Edge. we get kind of like the head scratcher moment of the night here. Triple H comes out. He has what looks to be a belt covered up. I'm like, what are we doing here?
Andres.
And then it sounds like we're going back to one world champion. I'm like, all right, this is sweet.
No.
And then he unveils the belt. And it's the Crown Jewel champion. And it will be, he said, both men and women at Crown Jewel in November. It will be champion against champion. And the winner gets this Crown Jewel title that will only ever be defended in Saudi Arabia. Okay. This has got to be, and I'll let you go because I'm sure you have the same thoughts I do. Exactly. This has got to be the dumbest thing on earth.
So dumb, right? Number one, you can't just tell me these two people are feuding and I'm supposed to care. You're throwing away marquee matches, Ryan, between two people we haven't seen fight. Maybe I'm just using Gunther
and Cody. Yeah.
Okay. There's no feud there. There's no story there. Someone is coming out of this looking worse. Someone's going to win. Someone's going to be the B title. And you can't look back from that.
You said numerous things. First of all, you're getting a match with no feud whatsoever. Who wouldn't want to see Gunther Cody? That seems like a big match. That could main event, maybe even a WrestleMania or be a title match at a WrestleMania. We're just getting that for free for nothing. And then they've spent all this time trying to build up another title. Whoever loses, their belt is the B title now.
Yep.
Their belt will be the B title.
And it sends a shockwave down, Ryan, because now that's the B title. What does that do to the US and IC titles? Now they're dropped down a peg.
Yep. Yeah, it's absolutely ludicrous. Like, why on earth would you do this when in one of them they still call it the undisputed world heavyweight champion, even though, well, it is disputed because Gunther has a belt. So now it's going to be disputed. Something's going to be disputed because somebody else beats you to win the galactical title, whatever this thing is. It is so, I mean, it has to be something where Saudi Arabia says, hey, we want something. And so this is what they decide to do. I mean, if they're going to do that, just have a tournament or something, because this is ruining not only your belts, but your dude.
Right.
I was mad.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't believe it, man.
Me too. I get some stupid galactic Andre belt from 1985. Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan.
Right.
Number one, I don't want to see that. They're both heels.
Right. Which maybe Tiffany wins, then whatever. It's not a smart idea at all. So Gunther comes out, and they showed they're in Atlanta. Goldberg sitting in the front row, and we know that Gunther's favorite wrestler is Goldberg. He told us a couple weeks ago. Well, then he says he lies, and he starts ripping on Goldberg. He tells his kid, "I hope your dad is a better father than he is professional wrestler," which was great. Yeah. Then Goldberg jumps the railing. He goes after him. They pull him apart. Sammy comes out. Sammy beats up Gunther. Goldberg then gets in the ring, does a little pose, whatever. Quickly, Nick, do you think we're getting that match? Is that going to be Goldberg's last stand? Are we getting that? And with all of this, when are we getting it? I don't know if it's going to be
his last stand, but I wouldn't be, maybe there's a deal been cut. He comes in, jobs to Gunther. We get him a match at WrestleMania, and he beats Ryan, pick a guy. I don't care. Someone on the mid card. He gets to go. Yeah, he gets to go out, at WrestleMania. They could probably give him a mark. I mean, having him beat Braun Strowman, that's not going to hurt anything. Who cares, right? Braun Strowman ain't freaking main event in WrestleMania ever. He could. There you go. You get a monster match. He puts over Gunther. That'd be my guess, Ryan. I just don't see a guy showing up and being that involved and them not using him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But and he's like 55 or something. So,
and that's Ryan. You're not going to see a 15, 20-minute match. I mean, you're going to get. Yeah, I mean,
didn't when he was 35.
So you're going to get 3 to 8 minutes, but
yeah. That sounds like that is a crown jewel match. That's one they would normally do over there.
That's
not
what
this.
I thought,
so
but
okay, so that was that. Sammy and Gunther on Raw later tonight. Okay, then it's the other girls' title match, the SmackDown match. Rhea looking for her revenge, taking on Liv. They got Dom up in a shark cage. He somehow opens the door. Not quite sure how he got the door open.
They said he picked the lock, Ryan, because because of his criminal days in prison.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. He knows how to make shanks. So he gets the thing open. Yeah. And somehow he's like also not only in the cage, he's also got his leg handcuffed,
like chained or handcuffed, in there.
And he falls out. And it kind of looked weird, like, is he okay? But he falls out of that thing. He's hanging upside down. Rhea's just smoking him with a kendo stick. And then Raquel Rodriguez shows up for what reason, I have no idea. I guess she and Liv were a tag team back in the day. They were champs, I guess, back in the day. I don't remember.
It's hard to remember. Ryan, don't cut yourself some slack. That was back when everybody kept getting hurt and they kept subbing in everybody else for the tag titles.
She was one of them.
Yeah, she was one of them.
In and out. Stopped and started.
Everybody was tagging with everybody, and that because they just had tried to keep the division going.
Yeah, and so she comes in, she helps out Liv, and then they end up, it's a DQ. What you said, it could have been a false finish. The referee said, hey, you're doing this right in front of me. What am I going to do? Right. So she calls for the bell, whatever. Liv wins. My only question here is, it's another one, like we talked about Punk and Drew. I'm getting a little bored with this feud now. I don't know what else you do and where you go with it. I guess maybe Rhea fights Raquel.
I think that's
been brought. Keep this going. I'm kind of over this right now.
Yeah, I think sorry, Ryan. I think you're going to have to deal with it. I think they're Raquel, because Ryan, here's the thing. I don't think they can take the title off Liv yet because I think she fades back into obscurity if they do. Yeah, I'm not saying that to be mean or anything. I just don't think she's had it long enough. I think she's got to hold that till at least Rumble, maybe Mania. I don't know where, but I think Raquel provides a target for Rhea to run through a couple times before she gets her hands back on Liv, would be my guess.
Yeah, I would think so that they're going to fight, but and there was no, I don't know what the deal was either. If people just don't care about Raquel or if they didn't even know who it was. Did you think about that? Did they even know that was her? I have no idea. There you are.
It took a second for me to realize who it was, but yeah, I think they did. They mentioned it. The announcers made the claim that they had been tag team partners and things like that. So, and she seemed to be happy. I think both women seemed to be embracing the other. Like it wasn't like Liv wasn't looking at her like, "What are you doing here?"
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. At the end, they definitely did. And she
So.
helped her up and everything. But yeah, just kind of a flat match, man. Kind of a flat match, which we said it may be because of the last pay-per-view when Dom and Rhea won that. Now, what do you do? Where do you go? They already won. I'm a little over this feud. Okay, now the main event. It's Cody and Roman, the 2024 Mega Powers, brother. They are fighting Solo and Jacob Fatu. This is Roman's first match since losing the belt and everything. So he's back all these months later. Pretty good match. I think it went like 26 minutes, went kind of long, which you expect out of a bloodline match. Rhodes nails the splash from the top through the table. That was pretty sweet. And that allowed Roman to get in the ring one-on-one with Solo to do his damage.
I think you saw Cody just basically say, "I'm taking him out."
Yeah, you go do your business. Yep. Go take care of the fake tribal chief, the bogus tribal chief.
The bogus thing.
And so the Tongans come out. They're doing their deal. And then Jimmy Uso. Jimmy is back. He shows back up and he helps out Roman. Roman spear. They hug. They're back together. So he's got one member of the real bloodline is back. And they win. Cody then gets taken down, beaten down. Roman and Jimmy come back to help him out. They do. They go face to face. Cody's about to lift the belt up. Looks like we're going off the air. And the Rock's music hits. And the Rock. Now, he just stands there. He doesn't do anything. But then he did do something at the very end. Your thoughts on everything. But I want to talk about the Rock real quick. Looked like he was just going to put the one up. But then he puts it up and he goes 1, 2, 3. Now, I've heard some people then say, I thought he then went like this and like slit his throat. I don't know what the 1, 2, 3 means. I don't know. I don't understand it. I've heard other people say he then said 4, 1. I don't know if he did that or not. I couldn't tell, which would mean the three of us, WrestleMania 41. Your thoughts on that? And then he just turned around and left on everything. It was good. It's what was expected. I didn't know we would get both Jimmy and The Rock, though.
A lot of returns, man, tonight. That's what I mean, especially after Raquel came back and then Jimmy came back, and you're like, how many more surprises are we going to do tonight?
Right. Where's Brock?
Yeah. You got Goldberg too, and you had a whole bunch of celebrities and former stars at ringside. So
they made it seem like a big pay-per-view.
It did. I mean, the match, the only thing I was worried, and I am worried, Solo, man, dude, like
lost again.
Yes. Like I can't take him real. You can't put him in the main event with me anymore for any kind of title. Like I just don't believe he can win. And if he does win, I'm going to be like, this is terrible because he's lost to everyone else. So that was hard. I thought somehow The Rock, I had texted you guys before. I thought maybe I heard he was in Georgia.
Right.
And I thought he might come out and cost Roman and Cody. But then the big picture with all of us is, well, who the hell gets pinned?
Yeah.
Roman or Cody?
Right.
Like that's kind of tough. So
I think I have been thinking that's going to happen at Survivor Series, that he would come out and cost Roman's team the win there.
You don't think he'll be in the match?
I don't. No.
No.
But now maybe. I mean, since he's here, maybe. I don't know.
Because I'm wondering how because that would put them to 5, and then you've got 4 on the other side, assuming we all know the standard 4 that are going to side with,
Are they doing 4 or are they doing 5?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only other thing I could see, because the Rock's team is, if they're doing teams, the Rock's team has to win at Survivor Series, though, right, Ryan? I mean,
I
they
would
have
think so.
The bad guys have to win,
right?
So I was maybe thinking surprise entry. I know it might. Maybe the 5th man of Roman's team would be Paul Heyman and kind of cost them the match because they don't have a 5. They're going in down 4-5. Heyman comes out at the end and gets in, I don't know, does something stupid, spray paint someone's face or has like weapon. But anyway, he could submit. He could be beat. No one gets hurt in the match, but the other side wins. That's I don't know that people would be excited to see Heyman in it, but you got to be careful. Like, of the faces, I don't know who, it's tough to have someone take the L. I guess maybe
Jimmy can lose.
Probably. Yeah, I'm sure, but
it doesn't matter.
But I just didn't know 5-on-4 then. I just didn't know who the 5th man would be.
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're doing 4 or 5. I have no idea. What do you think the whole Rock thing meant?
Ryan, that was confusing to me because I sure as hell, when you just said that, I got like a lump in my throat. I'm sorry, folks. I don't want to see a triple threat match. I do not want to see these 3 because
Cody was just on Pat McAfee, and he said WrestleMania 41 is going to be even bigger than you thought it would be. Whatever that means.
Because Ryan, I feel like a triple threat match always leaves me something left unanswered. I didn't get pinned by that guy. That guy didn't beat that guy. Or so I don't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not WrestleMania to me is a defining moment. Hogan pins Andre. Rock pins Hogan. Austin pins Michaels. You
don't get either one of your matches. You don't get Roman Rock. You don't get that. Roman Cody. Some people want. Well, you don't really get that either.
Right. I hope that, but other than that, I don't know unless The Rock, I thought for a minute he might be signaling more people are coming. Like more bloodline. I don't know how many are out there on this family tree that could be brought in or if there are anybody else, but I don't know.
Yeah, there's others. There's others. There's another Fatu, and then there's Hikuleo, who's the tall guy. I just figured when he did it, he said 1, 2, 3, and then slit his throat. I thought he was talking about those 3 in the ring. Roman, Cody, and Jimmy. That's what I thought he was. Yeah, you 3, you're toast.
Well, now, I mean, we did see, I texted it over to you for those people that don't know. I don't know if you're allowed to show it, Ryan. Kevin Owens beat up Cody Rhodes, which I kind of thought was cool. That they're doing it off camera because, 20 years ago, I'd have said, you're an idiot. Yeah. People aren't going to see this. Well, today's world,
they're going to see it now.
Yeah, we all see everything. It's already flipping around. So, Kevin Owens had a heel turn backstage after the show was off. I think they purposely caught it. Fans were the ones who caught it and published it. Kind of gives you a real aspect, I guess, of it.
Looks like it's real life. Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess he's maybe going off that way. I don't know what we're doing with the bloodline now. I mean, will Rock be there Friday?
Well, that's another thing too. You did this Kevin Owens thing, which I think we all kind of thought they would have at least another match, whether it was a heel turn or not. But that in Crown Jewel, you got this title versus title match thing. Like, I don't know what on earth they're doing. Or will this be on SmackDown? Cody against KO? I have no idea. I have no idea.
I mean, maybe Kevin toss Cody at Saudi Arabia. I mean, because they're said they're going to have definitive. They said they're going to have definitive winners, but I feel like you're going to have debauchery and nonsense in these matches to save
especially if good guys lose.
Yes, and to save these people.
We're just making yet another title, which was huge, by the way. I think Cody, if Cody wears that, dude, his chin's gonna
be like a bathrobe. Yeah, like,
it was massive.
Hell, man. Yeah, who wants to carry that thing, man?
Well, I'm interested about the Roman thing. I mean, obviously, we knew he was going to come back at some point, and we figured he had something to do with War Games. I hope it's not a triple threat. I absolutely hope it is not a triple threat at Mania. That's a long way away. Obviously, it's not till like April this year. So, anything else on this night, Nick, that stands out to you?
No, I thought it was a decent pay-per-view worth watching. But again, I feel like I'm not crapping on anything, but it's not one I necessarily go back and watch, right?
No.
I mean,
maybe just check a couple things.
Maybe the ending.
Yeah.
I might go back and watch the ending.
The beginning was good. I thought the bookends were good. The beginning and end were both good matches. The middle was like, kind of felt like a Raw.
I just have seen Hell in a Cell's nothing against this match, folks. This match was awesome. Great match. I'm just not a fan of those. Like they're just not like you. I just feel like.
What number was this? This is like the 150th one.
Right, and that's why. That's why. I when I was a kid, I loved cage matches because you didn't see them all the time, man. You know, like Hogan Boss Man going in the cage. I'm like, oh man, when's the last time I seen this? Bundy? You know, like, and I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I mean, I'm sure I'm off,
especially on normal TV.
Right, it's on, you know. So, but now, you know, I mean, they'll probably have a rematch, Hell in a Cell, Monday night. I mean, you don't. I mean, you don't know though. I mean, would you bet your life that there's not a Hell in a Cell match Monday night? I wouldn't, because they could come back and do it on you again because we've had so many. But again, it is a good match. I felt they did bring it. It looked like they hated each other. Good finish with Punk on that. I'm excited for The Rock to be back. I hope he's there a decent amount of time, if that makes sense. I know he's probably not going to be there weekly every, but
I don't think so, because he didn't really do anything, you know, and he's helping out this team in Georgia, down there in Atlanta, and he's been doing a lot of social media stuff with them. So, and he was there with them. So that's why they're going, come on out, dude, you know, come.
Well, got us talking.
Come stand there. Punk, do you think Punk goes after Gunther now? What's he doing?
Whatever it is temporary, because it's Punk Rollins at Mania, I believe. I got to be thinking Punk and Rollins are going at Mania. So, but Rollins is tied up with the Bronson Reed right now, I think. And I assume they'll probably reignite their feud at the Rumble, somewhere around in there. That's my guess. The guy who is on the dark, I don't know what you do with Cody for WrestleMania, because you got Rock. I want to see Rock Roman.
Well, that's a long way away, but yeah.
But who does he fight? Like who? I mean, maybe Gunther, but it can't be Gunther because you're giving it away for free at the next
fighting in Saudi Arabia. Yeah,
so dumb. But I don't know.
Well, that's a long way away, man. It is April 19th or something this year. So
is it really? Wow. Yeah. So we got a lot of time, but we got
over 6 months.
It's a lot of bloodline story to be told. I hope it stays decent. It's just a lot of time.
Yeah, I can't imagine we're going to see The Rock. I mean, unless he is fighting in that match, we'll see him again. But I can't imagine we'll see him until Survivor Series. That's just my guess.
You think he could beat Cody at some point?
Yeah, I hope so, actually. I mean, what I've been calling for is whatever it is, whether it's the first Netflix show, whether it's the Rumble, whether it's now maybe even Saturday Night's Main Event. I don't know. He beats him at one of those. And that's, I mean, how do you want to kick off Netflix? We got The Rock against Cody, you know, that's our big match. Or it can be the Rumble too, whatever. That's what I expect, and that's what I hope. And then you get Rock Roman. But when Cody comes out and he says, oh, WrestleMania is going to be massive, you got to think he's going to have something to do with it. So
I agree.
Well, everybody, appreciate you watching. Thanks for staying with us. As always, if you can, please hit like, and then please hit subscribe. We would very much appreciate that. If you got any comments, here's a hot take for you. Talk about this in the comments. The very first Bad Blood between The Undertaker and HBK is the best Undertaker HBK match.
It is.
There's one for you.
I
It's
would
the best
agree
one.
with you too.
Not WrestleMania 25. That's not even their best WrestleMania match. WrestleMania 26 is actually a better match than WrestleMania 25. You want to talk about in that comments? There you go. I gave that to you on the way up. Anyway, yeah, thanks for everybody. Please hit like and subscribe if you can, and check out some of our other stuff. We got some Halloween Havoc things coming up for you that you're going to like here during
When we can
horror
get
movie
through.
season.
Yeah, they'll be horrible for us to watch.
Yeah, no doubt. All right, thanks, Nick.
Thank you.
Good job, guys. Out.
You smell something, it's us, because we're the stuff.